Holly Ann Graf is a retired captain in the United States Navy. Until January 2010 she was commanding officer of the Ticonderoga-class guided missile cruiser USS Cowpens, a major surface combatant vessel of the fleet. She was the first woman to command a cruiser in the history of the U.S. Navy. Earlier, she had been the first woman in the U.S. Navy to command a destroyer when she served as skipper of the guided missile destroyer USS Winston S. Churchill. Her personal decorations include the Legion of Merit and the Bronze Star, among others. Early life: Graf grew up in Simsbury, Connecticut to a family with a long history of naval service. Her father is a retired captain and submarine officer in the U.S. Navy, and her sister, Robin L. Graf, is currently a Rear Admiral in the Navy Reserve. Graf graduated from the United States Naval Academy in 1985. Most of her colleagues at the time believed she was well on her way to flag rank. She holds a Master of Arts degree in National Security and Strategic Studies from the Naval War College and an additional master's degree in Civil Engineering from Villanova University. Navy career: Graf's previous billets include Auxiliaries Officer and 1st Division Officer on the USS Puget Sound. Graf was also the Weapons Officer on the USS Ainsworth and Executive Officer on the USS Curtis Wilbur. She was subsequently promoted to Commander and served as Commanding Officer of the USS Winston S. Churchill from April 20, 2002 to February 6, 2004. During this deployment, she participated in the opening stages of Operation Iraqi Freedom. She was promoted to captain in 2007. Graf then served as the Assistant Operations Officer in the USS Cowpens Carrier Strike Group. From March 20, 2008 to January 13, 2010, Graf was the commanding officer of the USS Cowpens, based in Yokosuka, Japan. Relieved of command: on January 13, 2010, Graf was relieved of command of USS Cowpens by Rear Admiral Kevin Donegan, commander of Carrier Strike Group 5, as non-judicial punishment stemming from an admiral's mast. The punishment followed an investigation which verified allegations of cruelty and maltreatment of her crew, and conduct unbecoming an officer. Later career: Graf was slated to take a job at the Office of Information, Plans and Strategy at the Pentagon after leaving the Cowpens. However, after losing her command, Graf was reassigned to the Naval Surface Warfare Center's laboratory in Dahlgren, Virginia. A board of inquiry composed of 3 admirals held hearings regarding her conduct in November 2010. On December 3, 2010, the board of inquiry recommended that Graf be separated from the Navy and receive a retirement under general circumstances so she could be allowed to retire with the rank of captain. General discharges are given to service members whose performance is satisfactory but is marked by a considerable departure in duty performance and conduct expected of military members. On January 6, 2012, this decision was reversed and Graf will be allowed to receive an honorable service characterization as a retired officer, as it was determined that her conduct did not rise to a level sufficient to warrant the characterization of her service as less than honorable. Military awards: Graf's awards include References.